Hope everyone's feeling well. I've had actually quite a few people over the last week or two reaching out because they have had upset tummy or tummy bugs, lots of different things happening. So I've had lots of questions, and sorry, Facebook, I cannot see what I'm anything. So if anyone's asking questions, I'll get to them after the live. But there is just a blank screen there. I don't know what's going on. So if you want to interact live, jump onto Instagram, Meg Smith, the hypnotic dietitian. So yeah, today I was just going to talk about, because I've had lots of questions around this over the last week, how what to have when you don't feel like anything, when you're recovering from a gut bug or a tummy bug or some sort of illness. If you have gastro or anything like that, the first thing, one of the main enzymes that gets wiped out, or one of the main things in our body that gets wiped out, is the ability to break down lactose. So it's an enzyme called lactase, which pulls apart lactose molecules within your body so that you can digest them easily. So people with lactose intolerance don't have this enzyme. And when you get gastro or a tummy bug or you're really run down, sometimes your stores of that enzyme or your ability to use that enzyme doesn't work so well. So I guess that's why often people don't feel like dairy, or they'll have dairy or coffee or something like that, a milky coffee, something like that, when they're sick, and it'll make them feel sicker because their bodies just doesn't have enough of that enzyme to pull that lactose molecule apart so you can digest it and absorb it easily. So it goes straight through you. So the number one thing to avoid while you're feeling unwell is dairy. But as you start, you don't lose it forever. So you will start to get it back. So as you start to feel better, then you can increase it gradually as well. The biggest thing to do when you're feeling like that is make sure you keep up your fluids. And if you have been losing fluids from anywhere, often you'll also lose salts. So that's where hydrolyte and gastrolyte are good at helping to replace the fluids, because if you lose both fluid and salt, your body isn't as good at just retaining the fluid. So you need to be able to give it the salt as well as the fluids to help it sort of stay in the body. Otherwise there's an imbalance, and the body always wants to try and get to back to balance. So it'll probably end up you don't absorb as much of the water. Your body will just get rid of it because it's still trying to get that salt balance right as well. In terms of foods, have many people heard of the brat diet? It's a bit of an old school thing, but it works. So as long as you're not gluten intolerant or celiac or wheat sensitive, even if you are, bananas, rice, apple, and toast. So they're the four things on a brat diet, which is really bland, that can give you a little bit of sugar, and basically it's giving your body energy, and keeping things really simple. So plain rice. Some proteins are okay when you're not feeling well. So chicken and white fish are quite easy to digest, and they're good ones to start reintroducing foods back into your diet. And then, just plain dry foods are the best when you're not feeling well, because even though you might not eat these foods all the time regularly, it's going to give your body a bit more. You need energy. Your brain and your body and your muscles need energy to fight the bug and to be able for you to keep going and keep doing things. So having those foods are going to help with that. To give, basically, the pure thing is to give you energy, just till you got enough energy to get over the bug. And then once you've gotten over the bug and then you're still feeling depleted, keep having those things. Sorry, I have a message. You can still keep having those things, but start to introduce some simple proteins. So things like chicken, so just plain chicken, white fish, they're really easy to digest. And then bringing in some nice cooks, like soups, so vegetable-based soups, so you're getting that extra serve of vitamins and minerals and things as well. And if you do that, then you're getting fluid in as well, you're getting some salts, natural salts from the vegetables, and you're starting to bring some fibre back into your body. Sorry, everybody. starting to bring some fiber back in, which is going to help bring those gut bugs, feed some of those good gut bugs that have been probably starved while you haven't been eating anything and while it's been trying to fight off this bug that's going in your system. So yeah, plain white meat, fish, plain chicken, plain rice, dry toast, dry crackers even, they're good too. Veggie-based soups when you're starting to feel a bit better, that don't have cream and things added into them, so more like a brothy type soup. And the reason I'm saying soup is because you want the veggies are already cooked down quite a lot, so that your body doesn't have to do much actually physical churning. It can just once it gets into your stomach, there's less work for your body to do. So cooked foods are going to be easier for your body to digest during that time than raw foods. Raw foods require a lot of acid digestion, a lot of mechanical digestion in your mouth. And when I say mechanical digestion, that's also your stomach. So your stomach churns and moves and squishes, and so does your bowel. And that, if you're not feeling well, those movements would make you feel quite unwell as well. So anything that's really easy to break down is going to be much easier for your body when it's in this situation, when you've had some sort of gut bug. The other thing, so fluid, I've spoken about. The brat diet, I've spoken about. That was pretty much it. And then reintroducing proteins and things back in. Also, avoid high-fat foods. So fat takes a really long time to digest. So the longer something sits in your stomach, the more churning and movement and that chemical and mechanical digestion is happening, the more you're likely to feel sick. So high-fat foods take a really long time because they also need another thing to come in there and help them digest. So there's an extra step included in that digestion process. So avoid high-fatty meats, avoid like high-fat buttery things, high-fat cheeses, those sorts of things, because they're more likely to make you feel unwell. Fried foods, they're more likely to make you feel unwell because they sit in your stomach for a bit longer, because purely for the time that it takes you to digest. So yeah, avoiding fats. Be careful with dairy. Not everybody gets their lactase enzymes wiped out, but be careful with dairy. If you've noticed that it makes you feel a bit unwell, just avoid it for the time that you're still recovering from that bug. And then when you start having it again, just start with small amounts and build it back up. And stick to just plain things. So it doesn't just have to be apples and bananas. It can be regular fruits, other fruits that you might eat as well. And they'll give you some of that, the sugars and the vitamins and minerals and the fibers as well. And then plain rice, plain toast, plain crackers, like regular plain crackers as well. More fibrous foods are going to take longer to digest, and they might have the time to sit in your stomach as well and make you feel that a bit unwell for a bit longer too. So be careful of those. So they're things like, like not undercooked vegetables or freshly cooked vegetables and things. The other thing is, generally our bodies are good at telling us what we need. So if you're feeling like something, and it's not, fast food or takeaway or something like that, which is likely to kind of sit in your stomach for longer, but if you feel like something, have a little bit of it and see how you go, because our body is very good at telling us what it needs. So this can also start the journey to trusting your body as well. I hope this has been helpful. I'm not sure what's happened on Facebook, so if this hasn't worked on Facebook, I will save it from Instagram and drop it into the group. Like I said, it's just got 3 dots loading on that page. Keep your questions coming. If you've got any other questions that you'd like me to cover next week, please send them through. We've got another Healthy Eating Hypno coming up at the beginning of September, I think, and I'm also doing a couple of meetups and an interview with Sandra Madafri as well, which will be a podcast as well. So keep an eye out for those things if you want to reach out. I'm also looking into running a live event, so it will be a mindful eating / hypnotherapy session / let's eat chocolate. If that sounds interesting, reach out and let me know, because I'm just getting into the very early stages of looking about where we might hold that, and how many people we might need to account for. So reach out if you think it's something that's good. Comment on the video, send me a message, whatever's the best way for you to contact us, let us know. All right. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for listening. Keep the questions coming.